Okay, so before we move into shot 40, let's just grab these nuts that we have here, because we can sort of use this setup for the thing that we already had. So let's just copy this. And let's just, no, not this one. Let's just launch another instance of Houdini. So, because we already have this model, which is working quite well, we can then use that in the other shot to add some extra variation. Because in the next shot, we do want a couple of variations, like 3, 4, 5 or something variations. So at least there's like, because we're closer up on them, right? So we do need to have that in there. So yeah, let's just go to the SESI-Snacks. Let me just go to the folder, tutorial. All right, 3D Houdini 40. All right, let's open up that one. Let's put this to manual. And let's just paste that thing in there. And then let's grab the things from the subnetwork. Go over here. Yeah, I know. Let's remove the subnetwork. And now we are good to go. All right, so we had these nuts. I guess what we can do is just grab this setup here. Copy it, go into this peanut drop setup that we had. So where did we do? Oh, we did everything in here. So let's just paste it in the ground thing. So it's gonna think for a little bit. All right. So here's our little setup. So let's just have a look at this thing. So maybe what we want to do is cache this to disk first. So this is already material fracture. So let's do file cache. Let's just save this out. So peanut cracked or something like that. Just a single frame. Let's save to disk so then we don't have to constantly wait for it to happen. So we have 3 different versions. Those look quite okay already. So let's move this over. Let's just put this in the copy there. Let's grab this variant attribute. Let's paste it over here. And let's have a look. Oh, we need to enable variant. And you can already see now we have some nice variants of our peanuts. And of course we could add another one if we wanted to. So we could like say maybe like put 3 and then change the variant here to have an extra version. And then you can see we have a bunch of falling pieces, right? So if we just play that, that's roughly what we want, right? So let's just play. So a couple of things here that I don't like actually. This one moves up quite a bit. I'm not sure why that's happening. Let me just change the seed, see if that maybe will get rid of that thing. Yeah, all right, that's already looking a lot better. I'm thinking the scale here is just not perfect. So let's increase the amount a little bit and let's change the scale to just be 1 or something. So something like that looks pretty good. All right. So yeah, let's just cache this out. Like I mentioned, we already have. This is already quite okay, to be honest, because like I mentioned, we're not going to drop them in actual flip. What we're going to do is we're going to fake it till we make it. So let's just cache this out. Whip. And now let's go ahead and work on our faking setup, which is going to involve some VDBs. All right, so we had these nuts. I guess what we can do is just grab this setup here, copy it, go into this peanut drop setup that we had. So where did we do? Oh, we did everything in here. So let's just paste it in the ground thing. So it's gonna think for a little bit. All right. So here's our little setup. So let's just have a look at this thing. So maybe what we want to do is cache this to disk first. So this is already material fracture. So let's do file cache. Let's just save this out. So peanut cracked or something like that. Just a single frame. Let's save to disk so then we don't have to constantly wait for it to happen. So we have 3 different versions. Those look quite okay already. So let's move this over. Let's just put this in the copy there. Let's grab this variant attribute. Let's paste it over here. And let's have a look. Oh, we need to enable variant. And you can already see now we have some nice variants of our peanuts. And of course we could add another one if we wanted to. So we could like say maybe like put 3 and then change the variant here to have an extra version. And then you can see we have a bunch of falling pieces. Right, so if we just play that, that's roughly what we want, right? So let's just play. So a couple of things here that I don't like actually. This one moves up quite a bit. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Let me just change the seed, see if that maybe will get rid of that thing. Yeah, alright, that's already looking a lot better. I'm thinking the scale here is just not perfect, so let's increase the amount a little bit and let's change the scale to just be 1 or something. So something like that looks pretty good. Alright. So yeah, let's just cache this out. Like I mentioned, we already have. This is already quite okay, to be honest, because like I mentioned, we're not gonna drop them in actual flip. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fake it till we make it. So let's just cache this out. Whip. And now let's go ahead and work on our faking setup, which is going to involve some VDBs. Of course, first we need to have some ground thing here with the logo in there. So let's grab the logo thing that we had from the previous setup. So let's go into flip. Let's grab this logo thing and this reshape thing. Let's paste it in here. Right, so let's just have a look at like how big our... So we have this thing here and let's put a reshape. So let's remove the keyframes here. Let's grab this logo. Let's turn off the reshape for now and let's just make this a lot bigger. Because we're going to be close on it, right? So to have it a lot bigger. And let's move this over. Let's move this down. All right, something like that. All right, let's have a look in the viewport. All right, this probably needs to go a little bit to over there. Burp, 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 burp. Probably even bigger, 24. Something like that looks probably pretty good. Maybe we want this to be a little bit more like that. Now let's enable the VDB again, but not after we change the resolution a little bit, because we made it a lot bigger, so we probably don't want it to be that high resolution. Yeah, so something like that. So let's just look into it. Let me just move my mic, because I think my mic is not. All right. So let's just have a look, and we can really crank up this erosion. Let's do 23. You know what? Maybe in this case, it might make more sense to just do a subtraction. So let's make a distance VDB and let's do VDB combine. Let's just see what that result will give us. So if we do difference. I always forget which one I need. So, yeah, so something like that looks pretty good. Let's just move this up a little bit. So 0.1. And then let's do VDB smooth SDF to just smooth it out. Yeah, so something like that is probably pretty nice. So let's look through the viewport. So probably that looks pretty cool. Let's add some variation in this ground plane. So let's do 100 by 100. And let's just add a mountain here. Really increase the size here. Something like that. Let's change the roughness so we get some nice sort of wavy motion that looks a little bit better. Now let's see what we get. Right, probably maybe we want to change the iterations. Okay, it's starting to be a little bit slow. Okay, that's a little bit too extreme. Let's do 6. And we want to move this up a little bit more because it's sort of making a gap in the ground there, which we don't really want. Right, so something like that is looking decent enough. Let's just save before we break it. Okay, so we're gonna do some stuff in a SOP solver here. So let's make a solver. Boop. Right, let's put the VDB here in the first input and let's put these nuts in the second input. So let's just have a look. So we have these nuts, they're falling. And let's do VDB from polygons. And why is it converted to quads? Yeah, that's fine. Let's make the resolution a little bit higher. Let me just check with the distance VDB because for some reason it's not giving me anything. Let's just unpack this first. Maybe that's gonna make a difference. It's a little bit weird because this should just work by default. Oh, not Unreal. Unpack. Okay, so this does work. Not sure why this was like that. All right, so we want to do some of this reshaping stuff that we did before. So if I just have a look at this thing, just put the reshape. So this is a little bit slow because we're dealing with pretty high resolution VDBs here, right? So let's just have a look at how they're positioned. Right, so this is being moved upwards here. That's fine. Okay, yeah, all right. The reshape should go into there. Let's see what this is gonna do. Right, yeah, you can see it happening where they're actually in the ground. So I think we probably need to move our ground up a little bit more. Because we do want them to actually look like they're inside of the chocolate, of course. Right, so now you can see them be inside of the chocolate here. Yeah, it's constantly highlighting when I go over it. So you can see here, whenever I... Okay, this is really annoying. But you can see it over there, at least, that they're sort of inside of the chocolate. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this. I'm going to go inside the solver. And we want to do it like this. So this will do it on every frame. So it will look at the previous frame and then do the reshape. Previous frame, reshape. Previous frame, reshape. Another thing we need to do is because in the first frame there is not really a previous frame. So we probably need to put a switch. And say $F after frame 1. So what it will do then is it will, on the first frame, just grab the original thing and then it will switch to the second input. So first input, it will just grab this thing and then it will grab the previous frame. Right, so let's just go up a level and this is going to be a little bit heavy. So I think we should probably just cache this out initially and not. Yeah, it is a little bit too slow. Let's just put a file cache. Let's just file cache this out. Let's see what resolution our VDB is. Really, really high resolution. Let me just decrease this a little bit. It's just easy with VDBs to sort of overdo it. Yeah, okay, that's looking a lot better. And we're still getting proper. Maybe we just go through this. I think we overdid it here with the smooth. Right, so something like that. Maybe, by the way, I want to offset the mountain a little bit because I'm not sure if I like the way that it's cutting out. Yeah, something like that is better. Right, so let's just save this out. Let's do, I don't know, 130 frames or something. Let's just do one. Yeah. Let's just do 150. Let's call this ground PDB. Save frame range. Let's just save this out and then see what will come out of this. So, boop. Okay, so I accidentally didn't have the transform connected, but I changed that, and that's looking pretty good right now. So let me just scrub through it. So you can see if they hit, they sort of leave a dent sort of in the underlying surface. Of course, this is not enough, but let me just first convert VDB, and then we can do some other stuff. So convert VDB. Right, so now it's going to be converted to polygons. So let me just have a look. Okay, so of course a couple of things here we need to change. So what we don't want is we don't want things to be spawned inside of where this logo is. So let's initially just remove our copies there. Let's put a delete. And let's just, where is it? Delete points. Let's do bounding. Let's just check our logo. And let's just move this bounding object over there, because we don't want any copies to be inside of our logo. So let's just do it like that. All right, so that should help. Let's just have a look at some other stuff that maybe we want to do. Let's just let's go out here, by the way, and just show our peanuts. Let's go into the ground and let's just grab our peanuts here and let's just merge them into the peanut drop. And why is it not showing anything? Just go into ground. Peanuts, why are you not? Let's just do the impact ones then. Peanut drop, alright, it's looking good. Let's highlight this thing, just so we can sort of look at the full thing. Why are you not doing it? Okay, wait, let's, yeah, I'm not I think it's showing me the wrong viewport. Yeah, alright. So let's do like this. So let's put the output here underneath this thing. All right, so in general, I think it's pretty good. I think we need to move the ground up a little bit more. I want them to sort of fall into it a little bit more. So let's change that. So let's make this 0.7. And then let's save it out. And after that, we're going to create some bulging effect wherever wherever they have dropped. We're going to do that after the simulation. So let's just first cache this out again, see what this looks like. Okay, so they go a little bit too deep right now. So I'm going to change that. And so that's 0.6. And another thing that I probably want to do is I want to add some smoothing in here. So I'm going to do a VDB smooth SDF because I think these angles are just a little bit too hard. So I'm just going to add a little bit of smoothing. Only one iteration. And I'm going to save this again. So here we go. Save to disk. Alright, so I think what we have now looks pretty good. Probably can change some things here where sometimes maybe they need to go a little bit deeper. But in general, it's looking quite okay. So one thing that I do want to do, maybe not sure if I like the smoothing too much, by the way, but one thing that I probably still want to do is want to offset sort of the sides, so where they hit. I wanted to sort of bulge up a little bit. So how we can do that is let's create an attribute on the peanuts, so the unpacked peanut. Let's call it offset. You could also do it with color. Maybe, wait, let's do it with color because it's just gonna be a little bit easier to see if you don't understand what's going on. Let me just put some color here. So, but again, you can use any attribute. I'm just gonna use color now because it's just easy to see. So let me make this peanuts white. And let's put another color over here on the ground. Let's make it black. And now let's do an attribute transfer. And it's going to be a little bit slow. Let's put the color. Let's turn off all of the other stuff. Let's turn down the distance threshold. And let's add some blend width. Alright, so now we get some blend width there. And now what I can do is inner wrangle. And let's generate some normals here, by the way. So let's generate some point normals. So it's going to be point normals on the point. And let's say that add p dot, so just add p plus equals, let's make it v at p to just be specific, plus equals add v at n times add cd. And cd is going to be the white, so where it's white it's going to be pushed off. Let's put it between brackets. And let's say times general float offset. Right. Let's create a slider. And let's after this just delete the color. Alright, so let's just crank this up. We probably want to change the offset here a little bit more. Oh, and we want to do this on the unpacked nuts. So let's just have a look. Are they actually properly unpacked here? Let's do unpack. All right. So yeah, now this should be good. All right. So for some reason they were packed doubly. So now I unpacked them twice. Not sure what was up with that. Maybe we should also add the VDB to that thing. Alright, so now I can get a sort of a nice fall off here. And then I can offset. Now you can see now it's a little bit extreme. But I can offset sort of the angles around where they hit. Or not the angles, I don't know, what do you call it? So just around where they hit, I can sort of push them in a little bit. So we're going to get a little bit of this. Let's add a regular normal after this. And we have normals. so we can see it a little bit better. But you can see now we get sort of this nice. So what it's doing, it's where the color is white, it's displacing this mesh in the direction of the normal. So that's going to be this thing, so the direction of the normal, and it's offsetting it based on how much we have in here. And again, with the offset here, we can change how thick we want that thing to be. So I guess what we could do is let's just make this maybe 0.22, and let's put this down a little bit. And the interesting thing with this, because that's what I really try to do with this course, is to have a really sort of mixed type of, like a lot of different effects, but with really different approaches. And you can really see with stuff like this is you don't, like the first thought you might have with this is let's drop them in flip, but this is going to be a lot faster. Right, so another thing that we probably need to do, for some reason there's still nuts in the logo there, which I don't want. So I think I'm still going to change that stuff a little bit. And I think I'm going to remove the smooth, by the way, because I'm not sure if I like how it's smoothing out. Let's just check that again. Yeah, it's okay. It's smoothing out too much inside the thing, which doesn't look good. So let's remove that again. And oh, I didn't cache out the rigid bodies before I did the simulation. So that was a little bit stupid. Right, so now I did do that. So let's cache this thing out one more time. And then I think we should be good to go to change the camera a little bit. And then I think the shot should be good to flipbook. So save this out one more time, and then let's have a look what it looks like. Okay, so one thing I changed is I put a VDB smooth after the cache here, but aside from that, I think that it looks pretty good. You could probably, what you want to do is also cache out the mesh down here, but for now let's flipbook this to just see how this sort of looks. Let's just try it with the camera that we already had. So let's just go into our, oh, we don't have the flipbook thing. All right, I guess we can just make a new one. So go to tasks, TVH, flipbook generate. And let's just do like 150 frames. Let's just call this shot 040. And let's just force object, oh, these things. Oh, we don't want to have that one. All right, so let's just flipbook this. All right, let's also do the correct camera, by the way. Let's make this shot 40, and let's just flipbook that. Okay, so I put it in the edit. Not completely happy with it yet. I think they're taking a little bit too long to fall. So if I look at this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them be closer together when they fall. And also there's this thing that's moving through it for some reason, so I'm going to change the drag a little bit. So I'm just going to tweak the settings a little bit to fix these issues that I have with the timing. So because I want them to sort of already be fallen here. So let's just, let me just change that. Okay, so I've changed the timing a little bit and now it works a lot better. So you can see this is looking a lot better. Maybe kind of want to maybe change the timing a little bit, have this lit sort of, yeah, okay, I think like this it works pretty well. So what I did is I changed, if I go into things, so I cached it, by the way, down here, so it's a little bit faster to flipbook because we already have the rest set up anyway. But my I changed the offset on here. So we have, this is where we did the random offset of the points. I just put that to multiply by 2. So that's essentially what I changed there. And I turned the bounce to 0 on the ground plane so they don't bounce around. And I upped the friction. So now when they fall, play, they just fall down. And also because there's and also I did a little bit of drag here, a little bit of air resistance. they also just they just stay nice in place. So looks pretty good. So yeah, we just go in here. So we have almost the entire edit. We only need the final shot, so let's just play. So looking pretty good. I'm not sure why this is acting slow, by the way. Let me just check. Is this set to... For some reason this looks like it's sort of at a low frame rate. Not sure what's up with that, but that shouldn't matter once we do the render. So yeah, let's just do the final shot. And after we did the final shot, well, we can start lighting and shading. So then we can actually finally start making it look pretty as well. So yeah, let's go into this shot.